Toolman Corey.
Yep, we're out here today. We're talking about tools. It comes up a lot. I've gotten asked by family members and really close friends of mine who see that we work with tools all the time. And they're like, what's the best brand? What should I get? Like, what do I need? Like, I don't have anything. What do I start with? Is it okay to buy Ryobi? Is it okay to like go to Harbor Freight and get tools there? Like, everybody just wants like a crash course in tools, because not everybody needs the dopest shit, right? I don't know, if you're a brain surgeon, yeah, you want the dopest, best, like most awesome precision tools to do your job, because there's a lot at stake. I think first we just start with drills. Let's talk drills. This is a standard drill. Milwaukee, Makita. These are the impact versions. So these get a little more torque. These are really good for putting mini ramps together. It gets more torque, it connects to the screw better, it's quicker. Even just like the ergonomics of it being shorter, you'll hear it a lot of the times too. When it goes in, you'll hear the drrrr, and then it kind of like backs off and slows down. You're like, okay, I'm done. And then you'll kind of get that muscle memory and that cadence of how far you're sinking the screws. Whereas drills, they just keep going. I never ever have used this for attaching screws. I use these to drill holes and put drill bits in.
Right.
But if I'm sinking screws, especially hundreds upon thousands for a ramp, impact all day. You'll notice the two different types of chucks here. So this one, these are nice. I mean, you can put any whatever you want in there. So then you can get all these little heads, and I can
pause.
Yeah.
I like how you got the DeWalt bits for the Makita drills.
That's how it is with this stuff, and I wanted to touch on that. It is so hard to be 100% brand loyal.
DeWalt makes better bits.
I prefer their bits.
Okay.
I prefer not to use this style with the removable head like that, because sometimes it'll get stuck and this part will stay in your screw. I love these. It's just one unit.
Okay, so this will suffice for drilling an actual hole.
You can, but you have to make sure that you get the bits that have the quick release chuck on the end.
Okay, so you can't just like obviously put this bit in here, it's not gonna hold.
There are these attachments you can get. Let me find one real quick. Here's a traditional drill bit, but it's got this nifty little chuck, so it goes in there now. That's a workaround, right? If you want to just always use an impact. But most of the time, like when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, they're selling, all the brands sell them in sets. The regular drill with the impact, with 2 batteries and a charger and probably a little case.
And it's actually really crazy, because I was in this dilemma earlier where I needed to go get a new drill, and I was just looking for one drill.
Just a body.
Just a body.
Just this.
Yes, and I had the battery, like I had the bits. I was looking for just a body.
Let me guess, it was like 140.
Yes, and then both of them together, it was like 160.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that they really like
they do it
push
like
this.
They do it like that for you know, the brand loyalty and just getting you on their program.
Yeah.
Because once you start buying those bundle deals, you're like, well, I got the charger and I got multiple batteries, and then you might go in and go, well, I need a cordless grinder. Oh, I already have the set.
I have the battery. I have the charger.
Might as well get the Makita to go with my other stuff.
Right.
So they get you like that. Yeah, be fully transparent. I started off as a DeWalt guy. I don't know, DeWalt just kind of got me with their branding and the colors, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm a DeWalt guy. And so I bought like 3 sets for me and the 2 other guys, and I'm like, yeah, we're all DeWalt. And dude, we burned through all of them. So then I had a bad taste in my mouth for DeWalt, and I was like, oh, DeWalts are no good. Yeah, so then I switched over to Makita, and we kind of have been Makita ever since.
So you got some Milwaukee
We
in
do
here.
have some Milwaukee.
Is it common practice that people prefer Makita or Milwaukee and then they get DeWalt bits? Is that like a pretty common thing?
I would say so, because the different brands will lean into the subcategories of accessories harder than others. DeWalt just has a lot of SKUs and a lot of options. People always think that we're sponsored by Makita, and it's
Makita, hit us up.
Yeah, yeah, please. The batteries last quite a long time. We're not nice with these either. Like you've probably seen in a lot of our videos. I'm sure you could pull up.
Oh yeah,
some
you
clips.
beat the. You're beating shit with the battery.
Oh shit, we got to knock this over. Boom, boom, boom. They come with like a 3-year warranty, So there's a lot of times where they do burn out. There's a service center here in La Mirada, so that's probably another reason that they've held on to us so long. They've made it easy to get replacements. Okay, I'd rather spend 50, get that one repaired, than like go buy a new body for like 130, 140, whatever it is. I'll say the drill is the most important tool that you need for building a ramp.
Right.
But number 2 is gonna be this circular saw.
Is that a DeWalt blade?
It is a DeWalt blade.
Dude, crazy. They're just the accessory kings.
They're good at that, yeah.
So they for sure know that like, yeah, like people like Makita and Milwaukee, but like we'll be damned if you don't get our accessories.
Yep, we built so many ramps with this. Before we had the CNC, everything was cut with this. Not this particular one, but with this type of tool. So you can cut radiuses, the ergonomics of it are good, hang it. It takes 2 batteries. You put these 5.0s in there, you can get a really long run. And then the other nice thing is it'll tell you what they're at up here. So you don't have to take them out and then check.
Right.
But yeah, great tool. So Skillsaw like wildly popularized this body. Corded tools are always going to be cheaper. So most like novice, entry level, builder, handy type people, you're going to just go buy something corded. Quick, easy, cheap. Because then when you get into this, not only is the body more expensive and it doesn't have a plug, now you got to get the batteries. And the batteries, the 1.0s are like the little thin ones.
Yeah, and those don't last for
They'll
shit.
last like 10 cuts. So you need at least like a 3.0, but really you want to go 5 or more. Now DeWalt, they have a 20. It's like this giant fucking thing. So yeah, we use 5s for everything, and you can get a good run out of these. Like there's been times we did a bull corner, for example, where it's lots of tedious cuts again and again and again. And you know, you can get hours out of those 2 5.0s. The body of this thing was probably $350. The 5.0s, I think 2 of them, I believe, are $300. So now you're talking
that's deep.
Almost $700 for this,
right.
Whereas you could have just bought one that plugs into the wall
for like $200.
Yeah, maybe even less sometimes. You only want this if you're using it in a more professional fashion. Then you're constantly cutting and building and ripping, and like you want to have something nice.
You don't need that for like fixing your ramp.
Most people do not need this in their home. That's kind of how all the tools are. And I wanted to touch on brands for that matter. If you're somebody who you only have a drill set in your house to maybe fix the occasional loose board on the patio, mount something, like mount your TV, Ryobi's fine.
Yeah.
Even like Harbor Freight brands for that matter. Like if you're using your tools, like let's say under 10 times a month, you don't really need to go for the bigger, better, like the top 3. If you're building your own ramp, not buying one of ours, maybe you're watching one of our YouTube tutorials on like how to build a quarter pipe, you above all need this. It would be nice to have a chop saw. We can go over to the chop saw real quick. And that's mostly just gonna be for cutting your studs to the exact length. And the nice thing about a chop saw is you can set up a little jig, you can have a stop block, you can get the same length on every board every time. So then you set your stop block, boom, you can cut 60 of the exact same length 2x4.
And it's gonna be precise every time.
You can also do it with this. It's not gonna be as precise. It'll be probably precise enough. Not everybody needs a chop saw, but they're nice. This is a compound miter saw. So we have movement this way, and then we can also move side to side. If you're trying to build a bowl corner, you definitely need compound miter saw. So we put this here when we want 2 foot 10 and a half, 3 foot 10 and a half, button the board there, cut away. And then the next thing I want to touch on is table saws. A lot of times people think we rely heavily on table saws. We do not. I had one in the early days of Keen ramps. It's not really conducive to what we're doing. So we're mostly ripping down ply, you know, like this. We're like, oh, we want it 2 feet wide. Yeah, you could run it across a table saw, but it's way easier to just use a panel saw. It's quick, it's accurate, it's easy to use. So panel saws, obviously not a lot of people in a residential format are going to be using a panel saw nor need a panel saw.
Just the space alone.
The space, yeah. Jigsaw, necessary to do your really tight, more intricate cuts,
Like coping?
like the coping,
Yeah.
right? You're not gonna be able to do this with your circular saw, your skill saw, whatever we want to call it. If you want to do the handhold cuts like that, again, you're gonna need the jigsaw. You know, you want to have a good tape measure. We could go into depth about tape measures. I don't know. I like these Milwaukee ones. I like the fatter tape. Some people prefer the ones that like automatically retract, or the ones that have the button, and then this one's like this, and some have lasers, and some have digital displays.
I'll show you what I prefer. my brand new Keen Ramps tape measure. You want to pull that?
3 feet, baby.
That is perfect. That's all I need.
The grinder is super handy for metal. So if you don't have a metal chop saw like that rigid one there, and let's say you find some steel, or you commandeer some steel from a knocked over stop sign, and you're like, oh cool, I can make the coping for my ramp with that. If you don't have that, grinder's great, because you can also, you know, you can cut metal with it. Grinder, not necessary for everybody. You don't absolutely need this. Random orbital sander, also very handy. We use this all day long. I think we have like 3 of these. So the stuff will come off the CNC and sometimes have like some little bird edges. So we clean everything up and get it all nice and pretty, and like
The same way you used it in the how to take care of your ramp video we recently did.
Yeah. So you can use it to like restore your ramp, or like if there's like some smudges on it, you're getting ready to paint it. Highly recommend Random Orbital Sander. Yeah, these are the bare necessities. If you're on a budget and you don't want to get all these, okay, this is the first one that can go. Yeah, this could kind of go, because you could still do your coping notch as just like a 90.
Yeah.
Could-
Okay, so bare bones essentials right here.
Yep. It's really just this one. That really, you don't even need that. It's really like the impact with the quick release chuck with some spare bits and a tape measure, and probably a chalk line. I would recommend a chalk line and a straight edge. Now we have everything you need. If you're looking to build a skate ramp at home and you have no tools and you're like, what do I need? This is it. I hope you guys found this useful. Let us know in the comments if there's any other ramp tool related talk you'd like to hear. But yeah, that's all I got for now. So until next time.